champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
So, Wrestlemania 40 press conference. What do you guys want to talk about?
On that note, our first question, we will head to right here, second row.
Cody, congratulations, Mike Hoppinger from ESPN.
Thank you.
You know, finish the story, but back in 1981 when your father, Dusty Rhodes, won his first title, the locker room kind of emptied out, right, when he defeated Ric Flair. And then tonight, you kind of enjoyed the same thing. Was that a purposeful callback to that moment?
If it was, maybe it wasn't purposeful in planning. Maybe it was just, I don't know, kismet, destiny. That's one of those moments. A lot of people had asked me, what's it going to feel like if you can beat the tribal chief, if you can beat Roman Reigns? And I really was honest when I said I don't know. I've never been in the end zone before. You know, I've been 1B. I've main evented shows. I've been able to be in the main event, but there's a difference between being in the main event and being the main event. Roman Reigns, obviously, he and I are not good friends, but that's the greatest championship reign in sports and entertainment. And as much as I don't agree with his style and the way he went about being a champion, perhaps, I still hope I can be half the champion that he was for WWE, as a leader, as the quarterback. In the moment, I was so happy just to see my friends. You don't have a lot of friends in wrestling, you know, and then you do, and they turn on you. You know, Kevin Owens is a huge part of my journey. I wouldn't have been able to meet the guys I met that I needed to meet and do the things that we would do without him. Sammy was a huge part of my journey last year with the kind of budding rivalry between us heading towards, you know, WrestleMania, and him having that opportunity at Elimination Chamber to see him. I didn't think I would see Randy just because he'd probably get on his bus. You know, he's Randy. So to have the guy who took me under his wing and I got to watch be a champion, that was amazing. I drove Cena around for almost 2 years. Learned everything I possibly could from him, but didn't know I was learning because we were just having such a good time. And there's nobody who carried WWE, you know, until Roman, like John Cena, and for him to be out there, my family, LA Knight, just a lot of victims of the bloodline in a sense. There was that, I think more than anything, just circling back to what you asked, I think that was just the joy. You know, there's a respect for Roman and the bloodline, no doubt, but nothing is bigger than the company, than the industry itself. And this was a win for the people, and certainly a win for me. Thank you for your question.
Cody, John Alba. writing for your hometown paper, the Marietta Daily Journal.
Oh my gosh.
They said you'd say and do anything for them, just for the record.
Well, so Andy McAlpine was the dude's name, and I was 16 the first time he wrote an article about me. He spelled my last name with 2 L's. And I was still blown away that I got to be in the paper. And then during that amateur wrestling run I had, Marietta Daily Journal was like a propaganda rag for me. They were all about me. So yes, anything.
Well, I know you said that you grew sick of the whole finish the story tagline over the year, but the story goes so much further than creative. Fans have been following your journey for the past 20 years through your father, through your brother, through AEW, around the globe. What do you feel has resonated with people most about your journey, and how has that led to them forming that authentic connection with you?
Great question. I think sometimes it feels like it's a father-son story. It's just something that, father-daughter, father-son, that a lot of people can see and relate to. But then, if I'm truly being honest, I think it's a story of, as much as I had the legacy and I had the last name, I wasn't born with all the tools. My brother's 6'4". You know how pissed off I was when I stopped growing. My dad and my sister just had all this charisma, and I think people resonate, that works for them. Like, you can make it to the main event. You can make it to being the main event. I always wanted to be a winning franchise, if that makes any sense. And at my age and where I'm at in my career, I know that's not been the story. But I'm very proud of what the story has become. And you ask, why it resonates. Is the only answer I really know. Because it's real. I wanted to be this because at first he wasn't, and I thought he should have been. And then when he passed away, I failed. I didn't hand it to him. But it became about, I said this earlier, it was in the hype packages and stuff, was playing. The story was beyond me at that point, and I still felt the need to finish it. I've been saying all week, I think I said it on First Take too, that even if I didn't believe, people believed. So I had to do it. I know this isn't what you asked at all, but something that I wanted to share. I came to the back, and Bruce Pritchard and Triple H and Nick Khan handed me this, which is the same watch that my dad had, that he pawned so that I could go to acting school. So the level of investment and responsibility that the company just put in my hands, I hope I can pay it back, pay it forward 100 times over.
What's up, Cody? Jeff Johnson, House of Highlights. You said yourself, when one story ends, an even better story begins. We've ended one of the greatest sagas in the history of WWE, which is the Bloodline saga. What is the new epilogue, the new narration for your story now as you've become the World Heavyweight Champion? What is this new story to you? How do you lead that?
I think one of the biggest fears I had coming into this especially after WrestleMania 39, one of the biggest fears I had was if I did finish the story, if I did win, I would have nothing left. That it would literally have taken everything I've ever done, every match I've ever been involved with, every partner I've ever had, every bit of me it would take. And I can tell you, the moment Charles Robinson hit 3, I knew I have everything left to give still. I have a whole nother level. You know, you've heard the former champion say all the time, there are levels to this. I just leveled up. And I think, if you know me, you know that I'll owe it to the WWE fans, pro wrestling fans, WWE Universe, that what we do next has to be extremely special. I just heard Bailey talking about the industry, where it's at. I don't want that to end. I don't think any of us want that to end. And keeping that going forward takes the minds, takes the locker room, takes the leaders, takes the quarterback, and they just made me that. So we're in.
Hey Cody, Liam Crowley, comicbook.com. 5 years ago, you cut what I think is one of the most impactful promos of this generation, and you declared about the 14 years it took you to go from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable. 5 years on from that, what do you call yourself now?
Oh, I think that's easy. Champion, right? It's what I wanted to call myself all along. And in a way, just to sidebar your question a little, I love that promo, but it's hard to follow. I kind of wish that it's hard to follow. And a lot of times my friends and my friends and family, they're all here. They always, I remember where I was with Charlotte. Like, you gotta, do what you did in Charlotte. I'm like, man, that magic sometimes is just magic. It just happens. But yeah, at that point I was undesirable, who had thought and felt that he had become undeniable. But again, wasn't a champion. Today, tonight, I'm a champion. Thank you.
Last question.
Cody, Chris Vanini from The Athletic and the Getting Over Wrestling podcast. I was going to ask you about the watch, but you revealed that. What was it like giving the belt to your mother and conversations with your family afterward?
One thing about my mom is my mom does not want to be on TV. She doesn't want to be, there she is. Hey. She doesn't want to be Mama Rhodes. And she's usually asleep during the show.
No, I'm not.
All right. But I'll tell you something that she doesn't know this, but I'll never forget it. I was really worried when I didn't win at WrestleMania 39. The journey, the thought, how can I get back to WrestleMania 40 and do it all again? And I remember saying to her, I just want to be quarterback. And I remember she didn't mean it in any negative way, but how she slid right in as I said that. And she said, just one time. And when she said that, I realized that I was out of time. It was now or never. WrestleMania 39, like, it felt, this is the moment, this is it, this is the most obvious thing ever. No. What they asked me, what the challenge was, what the task was, I just heard, Mike The Miz, who I've known my whole career, tell me that was an incredible amount of pressure, and I'm not gonna pat myself on the back here, but I feel like the gauntlet was laid down, and I was able to get through to the other side, and ultimately the biggest challenge in front of me was the biggest movie star in the world, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Mr. Heyman, now a Hall of Famer, and of course the Tribal Chief, the man who's on the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling and sports entertainment, Roman Reigns. Man. I'm lost in all of this, if that makes any sense. I am. I know Byron's gonna say, okay, you gotta go. But if I learn anything from my dad, when it's a good night, you don't want it to end. So with that thought, one more question.
Alistair George from the Metro, just over here in the UK. I'm here in Philadelphia, not the UK. Anyway, you've just mentioned your dad, and you said not being able to hand that title to him. What would you say to him with him looking down on you now?
That's a great question. If I'm being honest, I think I'd want to say to him that I hope I lived up to your name. And thank you for that name. And then I would say, sorry about the tattoo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.